Hey, hey, good
What's
evening.
going on, everybody? Man,
well,
it's just us two. Can you believe T is not here tonight?
you know,
It is going. We're going to be going down so many rabbit holes at this point.
let's do it. So,
So,
you want to start out with the 911s?
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
do
Let's
that.
start out with the main topic, and then we can go
Okay,
astray from there instead of going astray and trying to get back on the road.
that's right. We'll be rebels.
Yeah.
So, the one place that I had seen this was Pittsburgh, and I know that there's looking around, there's more of them that are starting to do this. But the gist of the title 911 No was that the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police said that they were basically going to stop responding to calls that do not require an in-person response by officers. Okay, and I can kind of get that, except Pittsburgh's really big.
Yeah, yeah. Pittsburgh is. I mean, it's a little bigger of a place than I was thinking. I mean, I'm like, you get a small town here or there. There's some small county next to a metropolitan area. I mean, maybe Pittsburgh. That's getting getting no nice without a physical. Without getting someone physically there. Let's see here. I mean, it's going to be like having some. It's going to be like calling like a tech support. You know, some Hindu named Jimmy. You know. Have you tried locking the door?
Right?
Yes, yes, I have.
Have you tried unlocking the door and then locking it again? Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, we're gonna. If we start, that's yeah. I mean, you're gonna get some metropolitan areas starting to do that. That's going to be messed up for a lot of people. I mean,
right.
even if you even if you have a metropolitan area, um, and people are used to that, not getting 911. It's like, oh, we called the cops again. It's been 2 hours. They haven't shown up yet. Now it's no, we're just not coming. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean,
And, you know, how many times? So it was things like burglar alarms, theft, criminal mischief, and harassment is going to be called, that's going to go to the call center. But in, reading stuff online or, going back and reading accounts, how many times have stuff like, the alarm went off and the police were called and, it was somebody getting killed or, I mean, stuff happens during a theft or criminal mischief or harassment that can pretty quickly escalate. And then you've
right?
killed all that time.
No pun intended.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. I could just see lawsuits coming out of, this like crazy.
you're right. And remember, the Supreme Court made a ruling a number of years ago, if you remember, that the police have no duty. What was it to?
Was it to protect you or something like that?
Yeah, yeah.
They're just there to enforce.
So they're code enforcers.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say, but that's what they are anymore. They're just code enforcers. They're pulling you over because you violated some law or may possibly violated a law or violated their whatever.
Yeah,
You know,
some weird statute in the city or province that you're in that somebody's basically they can collect a $50, $100 ticket for.
yeah. So you go to court, you pay your fine, voila. But what's what are these people going to think when they no longer see police ever? Well, usually during a crisis, the first thing to go is budgets for police and fire. You know,
Oh yeah, and especially since now you have some of these, uh, you know, northern cities that have had an influx of illegals, and they're, saying, "Hey, we're going to suspend a lot of our services to feed, house, and pay to send them somewhere else." So yeah, you're right. First thing that goes is your police force, Parks and Rec, all that good stuff.
hmm
First
yeah.
world stuff. Let's turn it into the third world real quick.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, look at Hawaii after the okay, we'll just say wildfires. Wildfires
Right.
went through, and all the houses with blue roofs were saved,
Yep.
and the government went in and gave them their $700 check. Fire and police services weren't around, you know, so it seems kind of odd, though. I mean, then I just read lately, within the last few months, that even in Hawaii, the like a lot of their like Parks and Rec or their public areas, there's no water watering the grass. So I mean, all the grass is dying. Things becoming, you know, it's not being kept up. So to me, it's just devaluation. They're just trying to devalue the place.
Oh yeah. I
You know,
mean, that's yeah. It's not like it hadn't been done before, and it's kind of a classic thing. Is yeah, make it maybe not slum like, but basically devalue the property and then come back and buy it. I mean,
yeah.
who wouldn't want a lot of beachside property that was super discounted?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's and then guess what? They start buying the place up. You know, bigger houses come in. Then you know the services get started back up. You know, gated communities.
Right.
Maybe we're seeing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, Pittsburgh and whatever else, if any other towns or counties or townships or whatever, might start seeing the same thing.
Right.
You
Absolutely.
know, but
But yeah, I just
Pittsburgh.
man, and like the big places like this. If I were a citizen, um, God, I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, it's just and this too. Is it's like that stuff can turn on a dime.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh, absolutely. Things can get real western real quick.
yeah,
People are sitting there going to go, "Oh, man, maybe I should go buy a gun, protect myself."
yeah, right,
I mean, wow, what a concept. You know, oh, I never needed a gun until police and fire and EMS just took a vacation now.
yeah. Well, that's kind of what we're facing nationally too. Is if your local municipality, your local police department is not going to protect you, then it falls on you to protect yourself.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
If
mean,
your government won't protect your borders, then it kind of falls on you to protect yourself.
I mean, if your government won't protect the borders, you really think they're going to protect you? I mean,
Yeah, no.
that's just my conspiracy theory side,
Right.
you know. So maybe people, I don't know. Maybe people need to start waking up and start smelling the coffee and see seeing what's really happening. You
Absolutely.
know.
Absolutely.
I haven't even checked the chat. See, hmm. Just waiting to see if, yeah, I'm not seeing people coming on.
Just Highlander.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't heard from him in a long time. But that's, and it's sad to say, a lot of times what's going to happen is the older people in the communities are going to suffer the most.
Oh yeah, yeah. It just like in any situation like this, it's old people and kids.
Yeah, yeah, they're usually the first to suffer. I mean, people don't think of it. They just put their head down at night and get up in the morning and do it all over again.
But like you're saying, as shitty as that is, because you're paying taxes on all that stuff.
Oh,
As bad as that is,
yeah,
like you said, maybe that is a wake up call. Maybe that is a call to hey, you can't rely on any kind of government, be it city, state, or federal, to come in and help you out all the time. Uh, that whole thing is a fairly new concept anyway.
yeah, yeah, yeah. People are going to realize real quick what's going on because that's not having those city services. And wait till the hospitals close down. Hospitals close down. People don't come in, or people need to go. And it's like, oh crap, we don't have the hospital, or we don't have an ambulance to come take us. Um, it's it. Is this the start of the decline?
Oh yeah,
You
like
know,
a visible start. And
yeah,
again, what are folks going to do? And I mean, I think we can all see the ramifications of cops not showing up, sheriffs not showing up, not being able to you know maybe get into your hospital or your ER during certain hours. But just from the monetary standpoint, because a lot of times it comes back to that is, so do I get a refund?
excuse me.
If I have relied on these services and you are no longer uh, supplying them, but you're still taxing me at the same rate,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh
there's a
yeah. I
problem.
mean, you know, or we need to raise taxes to cover these services, but still, okay, our city is working at half staff. The fire department is now volunteers. EMS is now volunteer. I mean, people do care about their communities. I mean, even where I'm at, I'm like, you know what? I'm starting to like this community. I'm really looking at getting involved. But, you know,
Oh yeah, I mean, you
people
can
do
love your
care.
community all day, but there comes a
Yeah.
time at which I cannot spend I can't give 100% to these people without getting some recompense for it.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. At some point, generosity doesn't feed a family at
Exactly.
the end of the day. So, was it only Pittsburgh that was starting to do this?
No, there's several other smaller communities around the nation that were back during and I know part of it started back during let's defund the police stuff,
Oh yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and start up. Of course, it went from let's have the counselors and stuff like that, which that bullshit everybody knew wasn't going to work anyway. But I think this is kind of their workaround is, and Pittsburgh was saying, oh, well, it's going to be better on our officers and we can, recruit more and retain more because these guys aren't, it's going to reduce their stress level. They're getting an extra day. Well, it's like, okay, well, that's bad management.
Yeah.
If it's so bad where you're at that you can't retain officers, then normally what has happened is you have tied the hands of the officers where they can't do anything. They can watch crimes happen or but they can't make it
Yeah.
stop. I mean, shit. What was oh gosh. There for a while, not too long ago, within the past 20 years, New York, they had cleaned up New York where you could actually walk around and, be a human. And then you had people like old Bloomberg and some of the others that wanted to be kindler and gentler. And
Hmm.
now it's back to the same, I was trying not to cuss too much, but it's basically back to the same shithole it was.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be a cop there, in a lot of these places either if you won't let me do my job as a peace officer.
Right. And you saw the one where the one police officer was beat up by migrants.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they look what happened there. They just let him walk. And then I think one of them got picked up again, you know. But I mean, they're letting these people go. And I've talked to some of the guys locally here, and it's like we have to do better during our local elections because if we start getting migrants in, yeah, there's some Hispanic communities here, and people they do well. Okay, I mean they work hard. They're good people. I'm not saying all Mexicans are bad or all migrants are bad. I mean we've I think we've said in enough of these shows that we're not racist bigots.
Right.
That we do know the difference between good and bad, and there are some good people here, but we have to locally as a community vote for the right people, hence rights,
Right.
and that will do their job, like like the sheriff or the prosecutor or you know the attorneys. You got to get the right people in. If you make it a liberal shithole, then guess what? You're going to get the wrong people in, force the good people out, and then I don't know. Let's say 911 goes down in the evenings, and they only work during the day, and police services and medical and EMS get cut during the evening hours. I mean, you're going to see that.
Oh yeah.
You know.
And you basically have put up in doing that, announcing the times and then dates and all that, you're given a, it's a twofold thing here. You're giving people okay, cool. Now I can time out my they're going to stop 911 at 7 o'clock. We can wait till 7:15.
Oh yeah.
Go rob whatever store. But that means that Billy Bob over at the Quick Trip may have his gun out at 7:01 on the counter there. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Billy Bob's gonna have his scatter gun set out for,
Right.
let's say, some people say, hey, for, I don't know, we'll help you out, like Ferguson. I was just talking to some of the local guys about, way over in Ferguson, the rooftop Koreans, they
Oh, yeah.
sat up on the roof with rifles, to combat the protesters. They, let's say, Billy Bob hires a couple of his buddies, hey, grab you a couple cases of beer before you go, and them guys will get a couple cases of beer for, stand and watch and showing a presence
Oh,
at
yeah.
his convenience store. So stuff like that always works out. Hey, the barter system always works out. I'll tell
Oh,
you.
yeah. No, you're
Look,
right.
look what happened when Iraq fell. Iraq fell. They did the barter system. Gold didn't take anything.
Right. No, I agree. I mean, hell, we all need our own version of rooftop Koreans.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But I mean, you get small towns doing that. The police are like, "Oh, we're fully funded now. We'll start patrolling." No, we're good.
Nah.
We're good. Why don't you guys just go part time and catch your force back? We've got this.
Right.
We've got this. Don't you worry about a thing, guys.
Where you're pretty little head about it.
Yeah, just chuck me the keys and we'll use your vehicles. I mean, our tax dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
Public property. That's. But I mean, we've talked before that the western places are already doing this. 911 services go down in the evenings. So, and now bigger municipal places are starting to do this. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah. Now, you could have, I just popped into my head too, is, you could have like a boon for, armed security and stuff like that. That might help out. But then again, there's not a lot of armed security comes with a big liability to it.
Oh yeah,
because they're not, generally peace officers. They're just licensed to carry, depending on the state that you're in.
Veterans, veterans could be like, okay,
yeah,
you start getting veterans. There's been a number of veterans standing at schools. I saw a picture of a guy with, what was he carrying? He had a bullpup rifle, a plate carrier, and that was his thing. Watching over the school.
Yeah, and I still haven't figured out why more school districts have not done that. I can see from the blue point of view why they haven't done it, but for a legitimate protect our children point of view, I don't see why you would not do that.
Right. I mean, people aren't protecting the the most vulnerable soft targets that there are.
Right.
You know, but that's, I don't know,
Well,
society
again,
maybe.
yeah, definitely a societal thing, and you're always going to have you know, the green hairs out there that, how can you have guns around our kids, and we don't want firearms around our schools, but you sure as shit do whenever stuff goes down. Um, that would have been helpful at Uvalde. Uh,
Oh yeah, there's a can of worms.
right.
You know, Uvalde was a big one. I mean, I don't think I don't think the police force was prepared for what they saw. You know,
Yeah.
they went in and it was fish in a barrel. I think they held back too long, and they probably were thinking that, if I remember right, they were thinking most of the kids were out, but they weren't.
Yeah.
That was you know, so they got in there, and after that, it was. I'll tell you what, the footage on that must have been horrendous.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, I couldn't imagine what that looked like. I don't know how I would be able to react to that. I mean, you know, you, I'm going to bundle all this together. You get, you get your police, fire services shut off, no 911. You get, you know, uh, some crime happening, things start getting bad, and the feelings that you would have, even like at a school shooting, the fear, the anger, and the different emotions that you would get from seeing soft targets like that, just lifeless,
Oh yeah.
would be horrendous. I mean, for all the three letters out there that actually sit there and watch us and think we're horrible people, we're not, because this would be this would be bad. I
Oh
could not imagine.
yeah.
See,
And probably
imagine
in
seeing
some
your own
cases
kids.
unrecoverable.
Hmm.
I mean, you'll never forget it.
Oh yeah.
You'll never not be able to not see that.
I mean, I know guys that were in Vietnam, and the smell of burning bodies will never leave your nostrils, is what they told me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we haven't been uh, subjected to such things. I mean, there's been cartel wars down on the border. You know, you're familiar with that.
Oh yeah.
We've, you know, cartel wars is something serious. But to see, you know, skeletons of people down there, or the smell of burn. Cartels will sit there and wrap some dude up in a chain, put a padlock on it, and build a fire around him.
Right.
I know border agents that have seen such things,
Or hang you off a
but
bridge.
yeah, or see enough of them hanging off of a bridge.
Yeah.
But you know, I know we went kind of deep on that, but it's something. What do we rule out at this point?
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah. I mean, once you start, like you said, is this the start of the decline? I mean, you all these people in high places that have built up Western civilization like this, um, where Big Daddy government, can solve any problem. and now it can't or it won't. So yeah, I mean, and enough shit's happened in the past, since 2019 that nothing's off the table.
Right. Yeah. I mean, where do you sit there and you go, oh, that's kind of crazy. That'll never happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Holy
Oh,
crap.
hey, there it is.
Yeah. Shoot. I never thought I'd see that in my community. You know, where you know, um, chicken farms burning in flames. That doesn't happen. Or
Right.
train derailments in a small town and the water system is now poisoned. Wow, that's crazy talk.
Yeah,
You know, where, where do where do we go? I mean, yeah, nothing's off the table, like you said.
yeah,
We're
absolutely.
we're bound to, we're bound to start seeing things. So
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how much more we can beat this dead horse. Uh,
right,
I know that there was another thing that, and I don't know if you know anything about this. I I don't know enough to comment on it, but it was and if not, I'll just leave it alone and keep it, keep it for next time. But it was the allegations that January 6th committee had um, basically either quote unquote lost or destroyed information on Trump having the National Guard out January 6th.
huh? No, I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, I I have heard some things today, but not enough to comment on them.
Okay, I might have to look into such things.
So
I mean, I mean, we're getting into times that we're like, of course, we see things through like through a clearer lens than some of the other people see things through like rose colored lenses. Where
right,
we're starting to see things. It's like, okay, this is happening and that's happening, and we're getting closer to an election. You know, we're we're seeing things. I follow. I've actually been doing. Uh, I've started digging and asking people, the right people that are on the right, you know, certain questions like my local pharmacy. Okay, I've talked to my doctor. I've talked to other doctors, people in the medical field. Um, right now, ivermectin is almost disappearing.
oh
Um,
yeah, it is actually.
they're putting so ivermectin, the pill, not the horse paste, which actually the horse paste is actually getting other things put in it. Um, I believe it's like 1.887% is in the paste. Six, well, it's 6 milligrams in a pill. So, but ivermectin is actually disappearing. I had a friend of mine. He goes down to Mexico to get. Um, I'm just going to say his meds,
Right.
and he he was even. I talked to him about this, and he's like, "Yeah, I talked to them down there in Mexico, and they said ivermectin is disappearing." And I'm sitting there thinking, well, it's working. It's functional. It has purpose, not for just horses and
Right.
livestock, but it's coming off the shelf. So, and it did it once before, and it came back, and then it quickly started disappearing again. So people are sitting there going, after I've asked enough questions of like my doctor and the pharmacy, they're like, well, that's kind of weird. They're starting to see where things are starting to disappear now.
Yeah.
And there's other medications that they've seen disappearing now too. Um, of course, they rattled them off, and they're sitting there talking, and I'm sitting there thinking, Swahili? No, no.
I would imagine
Hindu?
it's stuff that's cheap and effective.
Yeah, yeah, very cheap and effective. But yeah, I mean, they named off a number of them, and I was like, wow, that's kind of odd. So, yeah. Now that we went down that rabbit hole,
It's a super great point. Actually, I had been looking for some for one of my dogs, just to see if whatever they had was parasitic in nature,
okay,
and yeah, trying to find it because you could go Tractor Supply, stores like Tractor Supply, and
okay,
boom, yeah, there you go.
huh?
And you're right. It's they have a lot of the pill format.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hardly find. You can find the paste all you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I would be looking at the old standards, the sulfa drugs, penicillin drugs, stuff like that. If something was, I don't want to say planned, but if people knew that there was something coming up, again, like you're
Some
saying,
like kind of like a pandemic, maybe.
yeah, maybe. I mean, just off the top of my head,
Maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, you will definitely see. I think this time around, a lot of the safer, cheaper, effective stuff is going to go away or be really
Right.
hard to
Right.
get.
I mean, I've got ivermectin in the paste. I give it to the animals, and curiosity hit me hard enough one day. I'm sitting there thinking, it smells good. It smells
Smell like
like
apples?
apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there thinking, so you get a little on your finger after you're, giving it for the horse for worms, and you lick that, and you're like, oh my god, it was deceiving.
Right.
I mean, it smelled good. I mean, it wasn't like grandma's apple pie by any means, but you know what you just smelled and what you just licked on your finger was, I mean, and it was just like a coating. And you're like, yeah, I don't know how people do this.
Right.
You know, that's, I could just see the horse's face, like, it smelled good, but dude, you lied.
Yeah. Horse has got bitter beer face. Damn it, dude.
Oh man, but yeah, I can't think of what they're putting in the horse stuff now. It starts with a Z, and I can't think of it. But I was talking to another friend of mine that has animals, and he was telling me the same thing. He's like, "Yeah, there's something else in it. It's not ivermectin anymore. The box says ivermectin, but it's something different."
Right.
So, but yeah. I mean, it's just little stuff that you look at and you start researching and you start thinking, huh, that's you're starting to get the idea that things are happening, or
Right.
things just don't seem right. So
Yeah.
I don't know how it is where you are.
Do what?
I said I don't know how things are where you are. As we have like a fire truck or something go up the road. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's normal for us. But Yeah, now that you say it, it is odd. Um, it's oddly quiet, and I say oddly quiet in nobody has stirred the pot recently in the
Hmm.
past couple of months, and that is almost as disturbing as having uh, you know riots downtown.
Oh yeah, I mean because that's kind of in your face.
Yeah,
You know, getting Antifa, burning down buildings. I mean, burning up cars, breaking into cars. Dudes snatching AR-15s from Antifa kids who think they got something in their hands and then they don't. But I like Weapon Snatcher. I mean, he's got a pretty good channel.
oh
Um, so you get Antifa or I mean some wild organization. I mean, out there doing stuff. I mean, that's like, ooh, that's bad. But the stuff be happening behind the scenes, like medicine's disappearing. You know, people aren't really going to notice until Grandpa doesn't have his diabetes meds or Grandma doesn't have her heart meds anymore.
yeah,
Oh, we can't. Grandma can't take these heart meds anymore because they did away with them, and now she has to take 4 of these pills versus 2 of these. You know,
yeah. It feels very sneaky snake type stuff.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, I don't think a lot of people see that stuff, but yeah, there's a lot of information that goes around, but how much people actually pay attention now?
Yeah, that's the kicker right there.
Yeah, that is absolutely a lot of what happens. I mean, man, we haven't got any comments.
Oh yeah, you're right, Highlander. Yeah, Jace medical kits are pretty good. They're pricey, but they're good. Oh, okay. We lost Jay. Well, unless Jay comes back while I'm doing this here, then I will go ahead and wrap this up. It was real good talk with you, Jay. Uh, hope to see T next time. Um, and we will go ahead and sign out for tonight. Wishing everybody a good evening and a good week. And hopefully, we'll see you Thursday.
Bye,